Good morning, students. In the lesson acids, bases and salts, we have discussed many concepts. So we have discussed in the previous lecture that the reaction of metallic oxides with the acids, then reaction of non-metallic oxides with base, and why metallic oxides are called as basic oxides as well as non-metallic oxides are called as the acidic oxides. Then in the previous lecture, one more concept also we have already discussed, that is when we are taking different four solutions, that is glucose, alcohol, HCl and H2SO4, we find that the bulb glows or the electric current flows through HCl and H2SO4 and not in case of glucose and alcohol. So why this happened? Because these are ionic compounds, HCl and H2SO4, they are ionic compounds. That is why there is a dissociation of ions and ions are required to carry the charge. That is why there is a flow of electric current and the bulb glows in case of HCl and H2SO4. Now in case of glucose and alcohol, as these are the covalent compounds, we find that there is no dissociation of ions occur, and that is why there will be no electric current is flowing, as well as we didn't find that the bulb is glowing. Now in this today's lecture, we are going to discuss one important concept, that is how this acid or base they act in a water solution, or they what happens to an acid or base in a water solution. So we will discuss it with the help of one activity. So in this activity, children, we have to take one test tube, okay, and one rubber cork which is having one hole, because this is the rubber cork, okay. Now this rubber, one whole rubber cork, through it delivery tube, we have to take one delivery tube, okay. Okay, this is delivery tube. This is the cork and this is the test tube. Now in this activity, or in this what we are going to perform in this activity, that we have to take NaCl. NaCl is what? Sodium fluoride. NaCl, it is sodium fluoride or common salt. So we have to take 1 gram of sodium chloride in the test tube, and we have to add concentrated H2SO4 to it. Okay, so we have to add concentrated H2SO4 to it. Now what happens when we are adding the concentrated H2SO4 to it, means to NaCl, then there is a evolution of gas, which gas is coming through this delivery tube. Then we will understand what gas or which gas it is. So through this delivery tube, when the gas is coming out, that time we have to hold one blue litmus paper strip near to the delivery tube. Dry, it should be dry litmus paper or dry blue litmus paper. Then if we are holding the dry blue litmus paper near to this delivery tube through which the gas is coming out, so we find that there is no change. Then what next we have to do? We have to wait or moist that blue litmus paper, and after that we have to just hold it near the delivery tube. So we find that the blue litmus paper changes to red. Okay, so blue litmus paper changes to red. Now why it happened? Which gas it is? That we will understand. First, we will understand that when NaCl and H2SO4 combines, what products are formed here. Now just I will tell you the reaction. NaCl plus H2SO4, it gives Na2SO4. This is the basic reaction, children. We will balance it also. Na2SO4 plus 2HCl. This HCl is formed. So NaCl, when it reacts with the concentrated H2SO4, there is a formation of Na2SO4 and HCl. Okay. So here if we will balance the reaction, I will just write down this reaction again. Okay, NaCl plus H2SO4, it gives Na2SO4 plus HCl. Okay children, so this NaCl, we will just balance it as sodium sulfate. It is Na2, two atoms are there of sodium, that is why 2 NaCl it will be, and here it will come 2 HCl. So this is the balanced chemical equation. I will not discuss about it because already we have discussed. Now NaCl and H2SO4, when they react with each other, there is a formation of sodium sulfate and hydrogen chloride. And this hydrogen chloride is nothing but it is in the gaseous state. The gas which was coming in the activity through the delivery tube, that gas is hydrogen chloride gas. So hydrochloric acid, we know it is as an acid, but the basically it is in the form of that gaseous state. And this hydrogen chloride gas, when it is coming through the delivery tube, if we are holding the dry litmus paper, that time it will not show the acidic nature. When acidic nature will be shown when there is a dissociation of ions, because already we have discussed this point. Okay children, so there should be dissociation of H plus or H positive and Cl negative, and then only the HCl will be called as acid. But when it happened, when it is coming in contact with the water, that time that a dry HCl gas is showing the acidic nature. So this experiment suggests that hydrogen ions, they gets produced in case of HCl when it is coming in contact with the water, means in the presence of water. So ions or hydrogen ions, they are produced in the presence of water, not in the absence of water. And that is why only when we are taking that moist blue litmus paper, it is changing its color, that is blue to red, which shows the acidic nature. Okay children, so this is all about the activity. Now always keep it in mind that H plus ions, that is H plus, these are the cations. These are, they do not exist alone. They do not exist alone, H plus ions. Always if you are writing H positive ions, it is wrong. So we need to write always H positive aqueous ions. Okay children, H positive aqueous, because they are in the presence of water only, they are dissociated. Means they are always in a combined state with the water molecules. So even you can write H plus aqueous ions, or they are called as the H3O positive ions, which are combined state, H and H2O, that is H3O positive ions, or they are also called as the hydronium ions. Okay children, so have you understood that the H plus cation, they gets dissociated in the presence of water only. Okay, and what reactions are there? So you actually, what happens first is HCl plus H2O. There is a formation of H3O positive ions and Cl negative. Okay, this is the dissociation, and this, it means that H and H2O is combining and forming the H3O plus, and Cl gets dissociated, that is anions, negative ions. Okay children, so this way we have understood with the help of this activity that what happens to an acid or a base in a water solution. Now same happens for base also. Now instead of acid, if we will take the base, that is NaOH. Okay, so NaOH, it is in solid state. In the laboratory we find that it is in the solid state. NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide pellets are there. Okay, they are available, or they are also called as the flex. And if you will take this NaOH, then we find that how they also shows the basic nature. They are also, means NaOH or sodium hydroxide, it is also showing the basic nature in the aqueous form only. It gets dissociated. NaOH aqueous, it means that NaOH plus H2O. Okay, so the dissociation will be like this: Na positive aqueous ions plus OH negative aqueous ions. So how the acids H positive ions gets dissociated and in a combined state they are showing with the water, they are showing the acidic nature. In the same way for base also, OH negative ions, which is responsible for the basic nature, that is hydroxide ions, they are also in an aqueous state only. In the presence of water only they get dissociated, and then only NaOH will be showing the basic nature. I think this point is clear to you all. Okay. Now the next point is very important point, that why acid or base should be always added to water, not the water should be added to acid or base. Please try to understand this question, because in the exam also it may come for 2 marks or 3 marks. Why it is recommended that we should always add acid or base to the water, not water to the acid or base. Okay, we'll understand this point. For this, one activity, simple activity is given in the textbooks. You have to take one beaker, and in the beaker, small beaker, you have to take 10 ml of water. Okay children, and you have to add few drops of concentrated H2SO4. First of all, I just want to tell you, addition of water in the acid, means acid and water, if we are mixing or dissolving acid or base in the water, it is nothing but the dilution process. Okay, so we have taken here 10 ml of water and we are adding few drops of concentrated H2SO4, because we want to make it dilute by dissolving it in the water. Because if we are dissolving acid or base in the water, it becomes diluted one, it will not remain concentrated. So this is the dilution process. And what happens if we will do this practically, then if we will touch the beaker children, then we find that it becomes hot. So why it is hot? If we will touch this beaker after addition of the concentrated H2SO4 to water, we find that it becomes hot. Why it happened? Because it is a highly exothermic process. Addition of acid or base in the water, it is highly exothermic process. Exothermic means what? Amount of heat, high amount of heat is generated in this reaction. So there is a formation of lot of amount of heat generated here, and that is why if we will touch the beaker, we find that it is very hot. Okay. So now why it is suggested that acid or base, now instead of acid if you will take the base, the same rule is there. So why it is suggested that acid should be added to the water, not the water should be added to the acid, because if we will add vice versa, means water if we will add in the water acid, concentrated acid, maybe sulfuric acid, maybe HNO3, nitric acid, concentrated. So what will happen, that as it is a highly exothermic process, it will splash out. The solution comes out and it may cause burn, or even that container, glass container also may be broken, and that is why it is suggested that we have to always add acid or base in the water. So I think this point is also clear to you all. So maybe 2 marks or 3 marks question is asked on this. It is very important part, children. Now after that, one point is given, that is mixing of an acid or base, it is decreasing the H3O positive or OH negative ions concentration per unit volume. Now behind this one statement there is one concept, children. So how we should understand this? Actually superficially if we will see, then if we will think that we are doing the dilution process, there is a addition of water in that acid, definitely acid should be added in the water. So if there is a amount of water we are going on adding, if we are making it in an increasing manner, then H3O positive ion should be more. Superficially if we will think, but it is given that H3O positive ions decreases per unit volume if we are dissolving that acid or base in the water. Means if dilution process is going on, there is a decrease in the concentration of H3O positive ions per unit volume. So I have explained you on the online class also. So if you are taking, why this is, the answer is very simple. Per unit volume means volume of water will be more, but the H3O positive ions can be, it is remaining same. I will just explain you how it is. For example, 5 ml of hydrochloric acid you are adding in 5 ml of water. Please listen it carefully. 5 ml of HCl if we are adding into 5 ml of water, and just consider that 5 ml HCl means 5 molecules of HCl and 5 ml of water means 5 molecules of H2O. Okay children, for the time being you just consider this in number of molecules. Okay, so 5 ml, 5 molecules of HCl, if we are adding in 5 molecules of water, then when they are coming in contact with the water, as I have told you, there is a dissociation of ions. So this H positive and Cl negative ions gets dissociated, and dissociated H positive ions will combine with the H2O molecules and they will form the H3O positive, that is hydronium ions. And how many they will be? 5H plus combined with 5H2O, forming the 5H3O positive ions. Clear? Now instead of 5 ml of water, if you will take 10 ml of water. Before that I would like to tell you how much it is 5 ml HCl and 5 ml water. We have seen that 5 H3O positive ions are there. That what? Hydronium ions are there. So total volume is 10 ml because 5 ml HCl and 5 ml water. Now we will increase the amount of or volume of water. So 5 ml HCl we will keep it as same, but 5 ml water, instead of that we will take now 10 ml of water. Okay children, so 5 ml HCl, that is 5H plus, when it is coming in the contact with the water or there is an addition of water, that is 10 ml we are adding. What we have changed, please, have you understood? Instead of 5 ml water, now we are increasing the volume of the water, that is 10 ml we are taking, means more dilution we are doing. So this 5 ml HCl which we have taken, which are containing, for the time being we have considered that 5 molecules of HCl are there. So they will get dissociated, 5H positive cations and 5 Cl negative ions, and this 5H plus will combine with 5 only, though there are, now if we will consider 10 ml of water molecules are there, means we will just consider that 10 water molecules are there, but this 5H plus will combine with 5H2 only. Okay, so there will be also 5H3O positive ions in the total amount. Now volume of the water is 15 ml because 5 ml HCl we have taken and we have taken 10 ml of water. So now the total volume is 15 ml, but the H3 hydronium ions number is remaining same. So now it is 5H3O positive ions in 15 ml. So if you will compare, in 10 ml 5H3O positive ions will be more concentrated, or in 15 ml 5H3O positive ions will be more concentrated? Definitely this only. So it means that if we are increasing the volume of water, the concentration of H3O positive ions will be decreasing per unit volume. I think you have understood this concept. Same goes for NaOH also. Instead of acid, if you will perform this activity, actually this activity is not given in the textbook, but for your understanding I have told you, even 5 ml of HCl will not contain only 5 molecules of HCl, n number of molecules will be there. So only for understanding in a calculative manner you will better understand this concept per unit volume, how it is decreasing the concentration. That's why I have taken it. Now in case of NaOH also, hydroxide ions, if you will see, even the same happens with the help of same activity you can perform. Then hydroxide ions also, you will observe that they also goes on decreasing per unit volume if you are adding or diluting that NaOH or base. Okay children, so I think this point is also clear. When acid or base on mixing this in the water, the concentration of H3O positive ions as well as OH negative ions will be decreased per unit volume. Okay, so this was today's discussion. We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you all and have a good day.